Many of us as neurodivergents have sleep difficulties. With ADHD, we can experience a second wind like around 9 p.m. and then that will keep us awake even longer and keep us being active and engaging activities that will delay sleep. Some of us just have delayed sleep onset. Some of us get poor quality sleep. It's non-restorative. We wake up feeling unrested, or we're frequently interrupted in the middle of our sleep by our immune system or our mind waking up and trying to work out problems or trying to do activities, and we can't relax. And as a result, we can develop lots of secondary problems, depression, anxiety, any other kind of mental health challenge as a result of a lack of sleep. Our general well-being goes downhill quite steeply when we are not getting enough rest, and it has a knock-on effect all downstream. Something to be very cognizant of. But I have a pretty long storied history of struggling with sleep difficulties from teenage years onward, and it was highly distressing. And during one period of my life, I had overcommitted myself. I was working full time. I was developing a feature documentary. I was doing a web series. I was writing not one, but two books. And so between all those commitments, I didn't have a lot of downtime. I would, in my downtime, go and do something else that was physically active, like going to the gym or reading a book or researching something that should have been relaxing, but it ended up being just adding to the burden of work that I had to do. And I couldn't stop. I was slightly manic in a sense. My ADHD desire for stimulation and reward and action went into overdrive. And so I was constantly, the wheels of my mind were spinning and I didn't know how to stop it. And my sleep issues deepened to the point where as soon as I started to fall asleep, I'd have a hypnic jerk. I'd jerk awake in a panic, in a fright. And this went on one entire night. Then I had to go to work and I was so fuzzy brained. I barely got any sleep, barely operational. I noticed that my autism and ADHD symptoms peaked. I was very sensory sensitive. I was very withdrawn, overwhelmed, shut down, and then feeling really depressed and anxious. And the second night came around, same problem. So it was 2 nights and I felt like I was losing my mind. I thought like I was so desperate for sleep and I tried everything. I had a very intricate routine and all these little mechanisms that I put in place. I'd fall asleep on the ground with a little makeshift bed because something about the solidness of the ground would help me nod off, and then I'd get up and climb into my bed, but then my sleep would be broken and my sleep would be poor quality and I'd frequently wake up. And then I had other health related issues like having to pee a lot at night. It's a hypermobility related issue. And so that would wake me up as well. And I would drink a lot of water because I was always feeling thirsty because of the hypermobility and associated problems like POTS. And so I inevitably have a full bladder when I'm supposed to be sleeping, and that would be a recurring problem. And so my neurodivergence compounded with my hypermobility, which is a co-occurring health condition that many neurodivergents struggle with and can have multiple health implications and challenges, to the extent that I just wasn't sleeping anymore. And it was the worst feeling ever. It was not the first or last insomnia spell that I experienced, but I just remember acutely that fear that I was losing my marbles, that this was a downward spiral, that nothing could break me out of it. And subsequently, my sleep has improved because I've stopped overcommitting. I realized I was a workaholic, and that was partially, a lot of the insecurities that we harbor as neurodivergents. It was partly my ADHD need for stimulation, and novelty, and reward, and action. Partially it's trauma, being hyperactivated a lot, so that the nervous system just won't rest. It's just constantly in overdrive and constantly anticipating danger, so it stays keyed up and therefore you can't relax. And a combination of all these things plus the health problems, I've since gotten a handle on it. My sleep is infinitely better. I found a medication regimen that really helps with my brain and my health challenges, and I can sleep pretty solidly for the first time in my life. Ever since that moment onward, I've been sleeping pretty well, feeling really restored after rest. I don't feel like my ADHD and autism symptoms are peaking very often because I've managed the basic needs. And I think one of the key takeaways from this is when you have neurodivergence and also other associated health conditions like I do, it does behoove you to take charge of that aspect of your health because of the downstream effects I mentioned. If you aren't getting good sleep, chances are you're going to have one of those downstream challenges. And you'll be like, why am I anxious? Why am I depressed? Why am I constantly like jittery? And it's like, well, are you kind of addressing one of the key pillars of your health and mental health? Are you getting enough sleep? Is it good quality sleep? Is it restorative? Or are you experiencing the myriad problems that I've discussed? and recognizing that, and then exploring, neuroaffirming, tailored treatment approaches that address your challenges is essential. And that can be a very long and winding road, because I know I went into a sleep study. They found nothing. They said there was nothing wrong with me, and I felt very much like dismissed and deflected, and experiencing medical gaslighting and paternalism. And it was very hard to navigate that, but I self-educated and then advocated for myself and was able to find a solution. I would love to hear from you. What are your experiences with sleep difficulties? Are you able to sleep pretty consistently, or do you have broken sleep, a lot of the sleep challenges I've mentioned? And how has it affected your mental and physical health? Have you found strategies to better manage it? And has your mental and physical health improved as a result? I would love to hear all about your experiences.